think then, let me rephrase and ask a different question. I am a lawyer, actually. I don't practice anymore. Yes. But regardless, but we're having a nice little chat. I'm not being shady, but who do you think, listen, you guys are now famous. That's what it is. Like, who do you think?
I don't feel that way.
You don't?
No.
You went to BravoCon. Were you shocked at that fandom?
That felt like we were famous there. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm so maybe desensitized because I grew up in New York and like everyone's famous. So it's like, I'm not the famous one.
Right.
Like there's Meryl Streep that she's famous.
Yes. I get it. Listen, I get it.
But,
who do you think has changed from your cast the most from being in the public eye?
I don't think anyone's changed yet. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen everyone as much as I've seen. Like some people I see all the time. Some people I don't see as much.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know that anyone's really changed yet.
You don't think so?
I could see it happening for sure. There are certain people that I feel like will change, but not yet. So maybe they won't.
Who do you see the most?
I don't know.
I mean, you're busy living your life.
Yeah, I just, I mean, maybe I'll be the one that changes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
What did you like? Did you learn anything about yourself just as a person from this whole experience?
Yes, I did. I learned that I don't have to say everything I think all the time. I can hold some of the things back.
That's something good.
Yeah, I learned that I'm not going to like fight other people's battles. I'm going to, and I would like to give people the benefit of the doubt more often. I tend to be a little skeptical. I think that's the New York in me.
That is totally the New Yorker.
Like I'm like, you're fucking bullshitting, like please. But maybe sometimes people aren't, and I should give them, that grace to prove themselves.
Who said like a lot of people gave you advice, like what Bravo celebrity, like either RHONY passed or just, like.
Well, even like Andy was like, don't read the comments, Everybody just says, don't read the comments.
That's
Everybody.
Good advice.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I feel like the audience of these shows is so toxic online. And it's
You know what? I think it's a phenomenon where it's like, because we're reality people and we open the doors to such a personal, part of our lives, they think that they have access to it and therefore they can like rip on anything because nothing is off limits. And it's really actually horrible because, it's work in a way, but yet we're being vulnerable and we want to share. And I think a lot of it is very helpful to people. Like there are certain things that like people can relate to. I mean, my mother had breast cancer, which I'm sure I'll talk about next season if we get a next season.
And we're going to get into that.
And like, it was hard. It was like she was the one in my life that I thought would never get sick. Like she's like the strong one. And it was shocking and it was a really awful thing that I went through. And like, I like that I can say these things and then people get to okay, I'm not alone in this. Like that's the beauty of, I think, sharing your life in the way that we do. Like that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Actually at BravoCon, so many girls would come up to me and say like, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for being Jewish, which I didn't know was I didn't know I was doing anything good by just being a Jew. And I think the way that I did it, not that I was doing anything with any purpose, but I wasn't shoving anything down anyone's throat. I wasn't saying let's, stop anti-Semitism, which obviously shouldn't exist, but there are prejudices against every single type of person in the world. So that just exists. But I think it was just being opening my doors and having a Shabbat dinner was nice for people to see because you don't see it that often. So those types of things make my soul feel good. It's okay, there's a reason to doing, there's a purpose behind it.
Did you, because you were at, like you said, at the end, you were late, did you yourself have any reservations in doing this or no, you were just let's do this?
I was excited. I'm not going to sit here and be I didn't think I was going to do it. I was pumped. I thought it was so cool. I went, one thing that was really great about it was, I was recommended by Lizzie at the time. We were friends back in the day. And when I met the producers, when I went into the offices, I was they're amazing. I think that's what really got me excited because I'm these people know what they're doing and they're nice. They're good people. And I really believe that. I don't think none of these producers are out to ruin anyone's life. All this shit that we're hearing, it's just not true. It's really not.
You don't think so?
No. I'm sorry. It actually really bothers me. And I don't want to like say anything negative, but like I went through an experience and I like all these women that are coming out with all these stories. I've met them. They're lovely people, good people. But I went through losing my grandmother on camera. Like she died while I was filming. And never for 1 second did I feel like they were making me, make a choice between going to my grandmother's thing. And it never felt that way. Never. I actually felt like everyone was really kind and supportive. And that felt really good to be working with people like that. So like, I don't know. It like gave me this like icky feeling of, I don't know. Why are we shitting on these people?
Right.
They're good people.
Obviously, you're referring, just if we keep in with RHONY, like Leah McSweeney.
Well, I read the article. I mean, and I'm not saying that her experience didn't happen because I'm sure it did. Like, for her, but like we have a lot of the same producers, and I don't know. I cannot imagine. I'm such a good read on people, and I'm not saying this because I'm like working with them right now. I just don't see them as like, I don't think they're bad people.
That's great to hear, because you hear it about producers in general. I mean, housewife producers, not just Shed Media, but you hear it just because of the thing with Leah and Bethenny. And I mean, now we have Salt Lake and, Reality Von Teese and Monica. That's all Shed.
Yeah.
Like
but they didn't know.
Right.
I don't think they knew.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I personally don't think so either. A lot of these listeners are convinced that they knew.
Really?
A lot of people are. I don't think either, personally.
I mean, I'm sure that they knew that something was up with her. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Yes.
Like, something's up with her. You could tell from day one, and she was really good friends with Jen Shaw. I thought she was like an interesting character, but I can't imagine that they knew that and held out for like a full year. I don't see it.
And like your producers, nothing about like your grandmother and don't do this, because I mean that's Leah's whole thing.
I mean, they hired 2 sober people. Like there wasn't like that whole thing with like, they make you feel like you want to drink. Like, I mean, I never felt like that. No, I mean, I wanted to drink. Like that's my choice. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I never felt like I should get drunker. There were like a few things that maybe you could misconstrue, but it's like they have to do a job. So like we're gonna put these people now in a corner where they're so paranoid to do anything with us that we create no content. Like there's gotta give and take. And also a lot of like these viewers, I understand the interest in production and what are they doing and this and that. But on the other hand, it's like you want a good show. Like you want things to happen. And there could be a show where nothing happens. Like it literally, because I've seen many scenes where we're just like,
yeah, and we've had
talking, hanging out, laughing. We could do that all day long.
Yeah. Well, producers put you in a situation and it's still organic and authentic. Like if people don't want to do something,
sometimes
they just
I want to
don't
smack these girls. Like I feel that way.
Right. Do you know Bethenny in real life, just being a New Yorker?
The only way that I know her is that she dated my friend's ex-boyfriend. That's it.
Your friend's ex-boyfriend?
A while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not really, Just didn't know if you ran into the same circles.
Well, she was really close with Frederick.
Yes, she was.
So I knew about that, but they were really close. They had a show.
They did. They did have a show. They're not close anymore. We all know that. This isn't me being shady.
Oh, they're not close? I don't know anything.
No,
I just know that they had a falling out. But
do you regret anything you did?
The only thing I regret, because of the way it was positioned,